What's going on, folks? So today I'm going to be checking out a band called Shatterheart, and the name of the song is Betrayal. I've never actually listened to this band before, or honestly heard of them until I saw this new single released. It looks like they've released an EP, and their looks like again their first full-length album will be coming out February 6th. So I'm very curious to see what they're all about, and without further ado, let's find out. Rangers, go.
I can't forget your howling screams. Our winter night, it was a feast. I cannot bear to be alone. How can you have a heart of stone? Now would you save us? I see the truth, it's crystal clear. But in the end it feels unreal. And in this silence all I hear is betrayal, 'cause you left me out of fear. Dramatic words twist in my mind. Why is it hard to leave behind a life of agony and hate? Why can't I decide my own fate? You try to break us. You can't undo what's done. I see the truth, it's crystal clear. But in the end it feels unreal. And in this silence all I hear is betrayal, 'cause you left me out of fear. No time for tears. I cried all these years. My world was upside down, just a burning ground. You're nowhere to be found, just a burning ground. You cannot break me. Just a burning ground. I see the truth, it's crystal clear. But in the end it feels unreal. And in this silence all I hear is betrayal, 'cause you left me out of fear. I see the truth, it's crystal clear. The truth, it's crystal clear. But in the end it feels unreal. It feels unreal. And in this silence all I hear is betrayal, 'cause you left me out of fear. Out of fear.
Not too shabby, you know. I really like the vocals. Her voice reminds me of like Liv Christine from the old school Leaves' Eyes. Really, really nice voice, kind of delicate and soft, but powerful as well. So yeah, it's just really, really nice voice. I really like the vocals. I also really like the keyboard. The keyboard was tight, almost had like a little bit of like electronic elements. I like the tones used and the melodies. The keyboard was great. Every time that the keyboard really kind of was more prominent, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And yeah, I mean, I like some of those guitar riffs, especially like early on. Some of the more kind of aggressive guitar riffs, there was like an edge to them. But also just like the main kind of like strumming, providing kind of that background, sound, keeping the song moving forward. I enjoyed, honestly, all of the performances. The drums were really good as well. So yeah, I mean, when the song first started and you get like that keyboard, almost like electronic thing, that was super hype. And then the guitar kind of chimes in and has this almost head-banging kind of slightly aggressive sort of riff that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then when the verses start or when the vocals start, I was like, oh, heck yeah, great voice. But the more I heard it, the more I even liked it. So I like the verses, the verses have a nice kind of rhythm to it, nice vibe to it. The pre-chorus, it like sets things up nicely enough. It feels like maybe the pre-chorus could have done like a little bit more to maybe smooth out the transition just a smidge. But as it is, it's not one of those like pre-choruses that really, get your attention or that's like super noteworthy. But, it does the job enough. It's like just like a couple little line, that again, it just kind of really, it just sets up the chorus without beating around the bush or doing anything fancy. And then you get the chorus, and while there's nothing wrong with the chorus, the melody's nice enough, the vocals, again, really help, I think, the chorus a lot, because as it is, it's like the melody itself, maybe it could just feel a little bit familiar or things like that. Not really, jump out at you per se. But I do feel like the vocals help it quite a bit, just because she just has such a nice voice and just the way that she delivers the vocals and the lines and stuff. It makes it feel a bit more noteworthy to me than it would otherwise. But the one thing I will say, though, about the chorus is it does feel like it needs a bit more pep, because all of the sections, like with vocals, like the verses, the pre-chorus, the chorus, all of that, it feels like, the reins are being pulled a little bit as far as like the song goes and the energy of the song. Because in that intro, when you have that keyboard going and that kind of like heavy headbanging sort of guitar riff, it really kind of establishes like a certain energy or a certain vibe. And I get, the verses kind of pull the reins back a bit, a bit softer, things like that. Then you kind of get the pre-chorus to build up. But it feels like the chorus doesn't do enough to really pop. Like it feels like it keeps that same kind of restraint that the verses and the pre-chorus does. And to me, it just feels like it really could have benefited from just a bit more pep in there. Maybe bring in the guitars and the keyboard a bit more prominent. Towards the end of like the chorus, you can kind of hear the keyboard back there. But it just feels like it's a little bit too subdued. And so it just constantly feels like the song is being restrained. Again, it works for the verses, the pre-chorus, stuff like that, but that energy from the intro with the guitars and the keyboard feels like could really be used there in the chorus, just to really kind of bring it all together and just really pop. Whereas it feels like, again, it's just the song is being restrained a bit instead of being unleashed. And I think the chorus would have been the prime spot for that. Because, you get little musical interludes where, you get a little bit more of the aggression in the guitar and stuff like that. But really think one of the vocal sections, in my opinion, specifically that chorus, could have benefited from that energy. But it's just not there. And so, yeah, again, it just feels like the song is constantly just bubbling at the surface, but it needs to just boil over a little bit to really kind of, I think, bring that engagement to the listener and just really let the song pop, you know. But, you know, I like the bridge and stuff. Again, I really like the vocals. She just has such a nice voice. And yeah, I mean, as it is, it's a well done song. Like, it's enjoyable. Clearly, a lot of talent here. I like the sound. I like the vibe. It just feels like it needs that little added extra dose of pizzazz or, you know, energy thrown in there, which is already present. Like, again, like in the intro and some of those musical sections. But I really think that chorus needs that push, you know. But yeah, I mean, still, like, as it is, I enjoyed it. I'm really curious now. I'm looking forward to the album. I want to hear, like, what else they got. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Let me know, folks, in the comments below. What do you think of this song? Are you looking forward to the album? You know, what are your thoughts? Let's talk about it. And I'll catch you next time. Ranger, out.